After becoming Artin brawler, there were no incidents for a week. Maybe this Wesker left the arena alone, but you can't relax. Although Fang and Buster didn't strain themselves, they were in Brawlwood together with Gray and Lola, solving questions about new filming. Everything was quiet and calm. Finally deciding what they would shoot next, Buster and Fang decided to go for a walk. But not in the ring, but outside it. Otherwise they are always in the ring, so the brawlers walked away. Everything was fine. After leaving the ring, they decided to go for a ride on the attractions. To remember their childhood, so to speak, the fighters went chatting about everything and find out from each other who earned how much. For example, Buster has earned 50,000 bucks in the last month. Wow, cool! And then... My god, what is this? The fighters looked at the sky and saw an exploded plane that was falling. What should they do? How then Buster asked Fang to take a closer look at the man falling. What? Fang squinted and saw. Yes! God, we need to catch him. He ducked and gathered all the strength to jump. Perhaps the person is alive. Thank God he caught her. It was a girl. Fang was ready to cry because she didn't have a hand. Buster saw it and almost fainted. We need to help her! Urgently back to the ring! Pam was at the dump at that time, resting in the sun. She doesn't always have to work. Today is her day off. Years go by and she doesn't get younger. Old age is not a joy. How then she heard the screams. It was Buster. He told her to go with him urgently. My god, what happened with the girl thought? So a lot of doctors gathered. There was Pam, Poco and Byron. Together they managed to save the girl's life. There was a terrible tragedy. Most likely only she survived out, because the plane was flying to fall. Pam said it was better to leave her alone. She would wake up in a day or two. God grant everything will be fine. A couple of days later, the girl opened her eyes and didn't understand where she was. She thought that the plane crash was a terrible dream and was glad to get up. But immediately noticed that she had no hand. My god, she started crying. It's all true. Fang came and saw that the girl had woken up. He was very happy. She continued to cry. Fang came up and told her to calm down. Everything is fine. She is safe. Where is she? The girl asked. In the Brawl Stars ring, Fang replied. What's her name? He asked. She replied, Maisie. Very nice to Maisie. Fang said his name and asked her to tell him how she fell out of the plane. During the first explosion, Maisie realized that the plane was falling and they will all die. She didn't want to die, so she decided to jump off. Opening the door of the plane, she was about to jump. And in the second of the jump, there was a second strongest explosion, after which she lost consciousness and began to fall. The explosion took her hand. A terrible story. It's better to forget about everything forever. Fang encouraged her and said that the main thing is life and she could have lost it. But thank God that this is not so. Everything will be fine. Maisie thanked him and the ring for saving her and asked them to leave her alone. Left alone, she began to cry. The girl was flying to work and she had many plans for life. The girl was flying to work and she had many plans for life. But now she became a cripple. She will not be able to work. No one will look at her. Who needs her now? Nobody. And she doesn't need such a life. She didn't want to be disabled. It's better to die than to live like this. Her life doesn't make sense anymore. Why was she only saved? To suffer? Cry? To hell with such a life! The girl continued to cry because of her helplessness. Another week passed after Maisie woke up. She could already sit up. The brawlers visited her. She didn't show them her tears and said that everything was fine. Life goes on. And at night, alone, she cried bitterly and wanted to commit suicide. 5 more days passed quickly. That's it. Maisie gave up. She lost any sense of living. The girl decided to commit suicide. Late at night, after many days, she left home for the first time. She walked around the ring and looked for a place where she would end her existence. In the end, she came to the waters so that they would take her far away and never return back. She stood at the cliff and was about to jump. She couldn't live with one hand. The girl could not overpower herself. She could not force herself to jump. What's wrong with her? She wanted to end everything. God, she leaned back. Maisie couldn't do it. She began to hate herself even more. What a jerk she is! Returning back, Maisie was devastated. She didn't know where to find her salvation. And at that moment, the girl remembered God. Her body was pierced by trembling. She fell to her knees and began to sob. Suicide is a sin. Maisie began to pray. She asked for strength and forgiveness for what she wanted to do herself. When everything was fine in her life, she didn't remember God. But right now, she remembered about Him. Because of this, she cried so much. All in all, God must always be remembered and thanked. The next morning, she felt better. She felt good. Prayer helped. So every day the girl began to pray. She found peace in the Lord. Every day she was getting better and she could even smile. Fang and Buster were very happy for her. It was as if she had started a new life, and she is. Maisie's worldview had completely changed. Prayers helped her a lot. She seemed to be happier than before when she was with her hand. Life continued, and one day the brawlers gathered. They saw that everything was fine with her. Maisie said she wanted to stay in the ring. She had nowhere else to go. The brawlers said that they had a gift for her. During all this time, while she was lying and recovering, the geniuses of the ring decided to give her a gift. It's not a hand, but it's better than nothing. Wow, she will be able to wear this and protect herself. Don't need others. But that's not all. All the brawlers are worried about her. Life will not be the same anymore. The whole arena wanted to help her, and everyone decided that she could become a brawler and earn her living. God, she couldn't believe her eyes. Recently she wanted to end this life, and today she is offered to become a brawler, and she is happy. Thank God, she couldn't refuse such an offer. Maisie became a chromatic brawler. She continued to pray and praise God. The girl decided to star in a movie with Buster and Fang. She became like an older sister to them. Whatever happens in life, this is definitely not the end. You need to be strong, believe, pray, and there will definitely be an answer. Maisie is an example to all of you. Love each other, because God also loved us. We are not in this world forever. We need to think not about earthly things, as Maisie used to do when everything was fine with her, but we need to think about spiritual things. And now she has realized this, and even without one hand, she has become very happy without stopping praying and praising God.